Moving on, I'm just going to kind of try to go through this as quickly as I can to see if we can dig a little deeper here. So he's telling his story, obviously, in depth because he's a little bit passionate about the whole process. And so let's see what he says here. My accredited officer assisted in helping me object to the diagnosis of COPD. As part of the appeals process, I was referred for a more comprehensive medical examination. My accredited officer also advised me to obtain a statement from the pulmonologist who examined me post-surgery and found no evidence of COPD. Submission of the... Here's something interesting I just want to throw in there. If the VA screws up and assigns you a rating for something that you don't have, for example, let's say that that you went in for a bad right knee, okay, but they rated you for a bad left knee. If 20 years goes by and you've been rated for the wrong knee the whole time, the VA cannot sever that disability rating, even if they realize they screwed up. But it's a 20-year thing, so you got to wait 20 years, right? So if they screw up, they wash their hands of it after 20 years. So just want to throw that out there. So submission of the evidence combined with the findings of the second medical examination resulted in the VA reversing its initial decision and awarding me 60%. This is for that heart condition, if you remember. This was far from an easy process, but I was deeply grateful to have a free expert assistance in the form of my county service officer. A decade later in January, I had prostate surgery. Tissue biopsies revealed the presence of cancer. I returned to the same county veteran service office, which prepared and filed a claim for service-connected disability based on exposure to Agent Orange. Again, talking about presumptive condition, much easier than a standard condition. The three things that you need, just to take a moment to share this, is in order to have a successful claim with the VA, you have to have time in service, you have to have a diagnosed condition. You self-diagnosing doesn't mean anything. A diagnosed condition, that diagnosed condition must be chronic in nature or have some sort of residual effect, something ongoing, something like an ongoing problem. The third thing is that nexus, the link between the condition and your time in service. So either that it manifested during your time in service or as a result of your time in service. Now, the VA has presumptive conditions for burn pits, for Agent Orange, for bad water like at Camp Lejeune, a whole list of conditions where they say, if you have this and you served in these areas, we're just going to presume that it's because of that. The burden of proving that it has to do with either manifesting or as a result of your time in service are waived. We presume that it is. So that's what he's talking about here. So moving on, and he actually mentions it. So my service connection for prostate cancer is currently under review by the VA, but like cardiac disease, it is a presumptive disability from exposure to Agent Orange. An award of service connection for prostate cancer is expected soon. According to VA, a decision letter is being prepared. So this tells me that he's utilizing the va.gov site where he can log on and see the progress of his claim. So he's really diving deep into his experience. Let's do a couple more paragraphs and then we'll kick it around for a minute. Ever since I applied for service-connected rating for prostate cancer, I have been inundated with, this is like Chris, inundated by ads from these claim sharks. They are not required to adhere to the same professional and ethical standards as accredited representatives, and many are poorly trained to help a veteran navigate the intricate rules and regulations concerning veterans' benefits. Claim sharks are for-profit companies that charge thousands for services that are provided for free by a county veteran service office and veteran service organizations, such as the Veterans of... I love that he distinguished the two. I'm just, because so many people don't. And veteran service organizations such as Veterans of Foreign Wars, Disabled American Veterans, the American Legion. The assistance offered by accredited VSOs is of higher quality than what's offered by claim sharks. That's because their mission is to help veterans, not use them to turn a tidy profit. I might as well just finish it off, the last little paragraph here, and then we'll dissect it a little bit. The ads from claim sharks appear daily in my mail messages and on my Facebook account. They falsely claim to offer expedited services and suggest it is possible to easily achieve an award of 100% disability. In fact, there are no shortcuts to the VA disability process. I agree. I have my own thoughts, but I'm going to kick it to you, Randy, and then we'll go from there.
So complex case, I hate to hear what this individual is going through, but it's a complex case. He did tell the truth. I mean, going through a VSO is often the best way to do it. Let's talk really quick about when an attorney is needed, because this is a more complex case that this person's describing. Sometimes you may have a claim, and your claim is so complex that you need legal representation to get through the process. That does not, in my opinion, fall into this category of, VA sharks that are out there. There are attorneys that are accredited to be, a VA accredited attorney. So they have expertise in veterans matters, and they can help represent you as you go through the process. So first question, when you're talking about these complex cases and you're thinking about engaging with a lawyer, is ask them, hey, are you a VA accredited attorney? Probably second common sense question that I would ask them is, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been practicing veterans law? And can you, provide me with any sort of credentials or referrals or anything like that might help me understand your professional history a little bit better? And then ask them, are you admitted to practice before the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims? Because it may come to that. So you're going to want to know if they're able to practice in that venue. So I guess that's where I'm at, Jason. I didn't want to kind of foot stomp this. I just wanted to point out that there is a difference between, claim sharks that are out there and then actual attorneys that, are specialized in this and representing you in a legal matter that you are claiming against the VA. So pass it over to you, Chris, for your thoughts.
Yeah, nothing much to add. Just remember that you could validate the accreditation. I've said that before. But don't, depending upon where you're watching this thing, don't want you to miss out that you could go to va.gov and do a search on accreditation. There's also, just something that if anybody has used, if anybody in the community, listener, has used one of these services, we'd like to hear about it. Like a good story, like, can they add value that others can't? I mean, there might be some services that are out there that are valuable. It would also be interested to hear from some of you who might be working for those services, because maybe there are, outlier situations where these services are the right thing to do. I can't really see any at this point, but look, this is all about sharing information and stories. And if you got them, then share them.